Hey, 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 I'm Cindy Gould, and welcome back to Create Your Victorious Life, where our goal is to help you to create victory in every area of your life. I want to thank the Spanglish World Networks and welcome you to the Spanglish World Network and Zingo TV, channels 250 and 251. Please remember to download both the Zingo TV app on your respective app stores, whether it's iOS or Android devices. And while you download, make sure to leave us a stellar comment. And Zingo TV can also be found on Google Chromecast, Amazon Fire, and Fire TV sticks. Roku and Roku sticks were all smart TVs from 2016 and forward. You can find. Also, I want to let you know that you can find me, Cindy Gould, on Facebook and on Instagram, victorious_living_with_Cindy, and createyourvictoriouslife.com. Today, I am so excited about my guest, my friend, Rosalind Byars. Let me just tell you a little bit about her. She is a licensed certified dual elite neuroencoding specialist, which is how I met her. She's also certified in the success principles through the Canfield training. Also, she leverages what I love is her decade-long educational background so that she can empower you to unlock your full potential for success and fulfillment. She's basically a success and a mindset coach, which is great. And she uses all of her education plus her experiences to help you to achieve that success in your life so that you can have continuous small victories that stack to big ones. I'm so excited that she's on our show. We're on complete opposite ends of the country. And so she's in balmier weather than I am. And welcome, 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 Roz, to the show. I'm so glad you're here.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I am so happy to be here.
Yes, thank you for joining us today. I know that we've been excited, you and I both, about being able to do this together. So share with us, like, you were a teacher, right? An educator, and now you're doing this. Talk to us a little bit about how that came to be.
Well, I have always wanted to make an impact. And, it took me a while to actually figure out where that is. And the area of success is a much needed area because guess what? Most people, they don't find themselves successful. I'm sure that you would say you're successful, but most people, when you say, what is your success? And they're like, well, I had a kid. They can't even think of anything. So they had a kid. That's a success. And, I bought a house. But success is something that is a daily thing. And when we ignore that, we don't get to live our full victorious life.
Yeah.
So we need to actually increase our awareness of our successes.
Ooh, I love that. Increase our awareness of our successes. I love that you also say success is a daily thing, because sometimes I think we look at success as these out there goals instead of daily wins every day that create a successful day or a successful meeting or a successful exchange with your child or your mate or your neighbor or whatever. How would you define success?
I want to, before I even define success the way I would define it, I want to say how people generally define success, because what happens is we look at success as, oh, I got to be rich. I got to have this prestigious job. I got to be a movie star. I got to be a celebrity. I got to have done something major. And so without that, I don't have success, and I can't be successful. But, you said I was a teacher. I'm breaking down success into the smallest form available. And success is the accomplishment of an aim or a purpose. So, if I choose to go make dinner, and I actually make dinner, I just had a success. So, little successes are going to make the impact. So that's how I would define success: accomplishing something. Let's keep it simple. You accomplish something.
I love it. Like I know you've heard me talk about this before. I celebrate the heck out of the fact that I actually got the laundry from the washer to the dryer before I had to re-rinse the laundry, right? To me, that's like success. Woo! And then I got it from the dryer to their intended places, not just left on the couch for the whole week to get dressed from my couch all week, right? To me, again, that's successful. Like, okay, Cindy, high fives to you. Because how many things do we do, even on autopilot, right? Or like what you said, even creating a successful meal. I mean, it's so funny. I was talking with my Mo'opuna, my granddaughter, Pua, the other day, and she's the oldest of the grands, and she loves to cook, and all the children do. And so I constantly send her recipes and things that I see on like Instagram or whatever. I'm always forwarding her these. What about this one? What about that? And then I started thinking about what it takes to just even create a successful dessert, and for me, it isn't even just the outcome. It's like the word that you use, impact. It isn't about me just creating it and it being yummy for me. It's about being able to bring that yumminess to somebody else and seeing that huge smile. And then I'm like, ooh, that was successful, right?
And see, a lot of people don't look at it that way. Okay. A lot of people, they would never have thought of that as a success. The laundry, the food, all of that, we don't look at those as successes. In fact, even when we do have successes, generally we downgrade them and complain about them. So let me give an example. If we get a promotion, but we thought we should have got it 3 months ago, we're still not happy because, that person got it earlier than us. But I do want to let you know, you just stole some of my thunder. You stole some of my thunder because I do want to make sure that we're celebrating our successes, right? Because success needs to be acknowledged and celebrated. Yes. And so, that was definitely a big point that I wanted to make because, like I said, we let them fly by. We're letting our successes fly by. We're living in that we can't be happy until we get that promotion. We can't be happy until we get the new home. We can't be happy. But the problem becomes, what if you don't get what you want? Can you ever be happy?
Right.
So we got to start celebrating that. Yeah, I worked towards this. I took that step.
Yeah.
Let's start celebrating ourselves for the small wins that we do have. Right. Because I'm going to tell you, that helps us to have more wins. So we got to do it.
Let's talk a little bit about that, because I love that we're both so much in alignment that I was able to speak to that. And we love our friend Eric Stenlake from Energetic Life Now. And he says he's celebrating us, both of us. And he is an amazing and just a precious dear friend, I know, to me. And I know he's your friend as well. And so, one of the things with the celebration, even things like you had an exchange with your son, and normally he would have triggered you and you would have said you're grounded for life and that's it, right? And instead you paused and you took a moment to really have a sincere conversation with him, celebrate the heck out of that. That's successful, right? Or even when I know there's people on here that, sometimes yell in their car, like the person in the car next to them that just cut them off is going to hear them because they have like road rage, or, of course, all their children in the car got to hear that. But, even when you are able to kind of level up in your own life from those little things, when you get excited and celebrate that, to me, those are successful big things. And you had said a minute ago, and I'd love for you to address this if you would please, about how important it is to celebrate all of those. And I know I use the word stacking your wins. Why is that important? And how does that bring you more things to celebrate?
You keep on getting me. So I just lost the point you just made that I really wanted to touch on, but let me answer that. But you're getting me. So as far as stacking, okay. So when you have a success and you celebrate it, that makes you feel good. It makes you feel good. It helps to motivate you to go ahead and do more of what you should be doing. So celebrating that situation with the teenager that was gonna trigger you, that pause. Okay, so that reminded me of what I was gonna say. That is going to help you live in the moment for the one thing. Okay, so we don't have to be futuristic. We're not worried about things at that point. We are living in the moment. And so let's live life in the moment more and more and more. Okay, so when we start acknowledging our successes, we bring ourselves to the present, and we're not living somewhere out there somewhere. We're right here. We're right here and right now, living in our success. And we get to have that joy right now. We get to have life satisfaction. We get to be victorious, live the victorious life, because I love that. I just love that. And we get to actually, like I said, it's so important to live in the present, but it helps us to motivate us to have that kind of pause again, because now we're not angry. We're not angry. We had that interaction with our son. We pulled back. We had some a moment of presentness, and now, we can celebrate that we didn't just fly off the handle with our child. That was a success, And next time when our son interacts with us, we're going to have a better interaction because he's seeing our own efforts. There's an effort there when I pause and I don't fly off the handle and start yelling and getting mad and making him pull back like, oh. Like, I got to stay away from her. Let her cool down or something.
Right. Well, and you created a safety when we do that for them to come to you again with something. Oh, okay. Because you're creating it. It's okay for me to be authentic with my feelings with my mom. It's okay for me to make a mistake, and I'm okay to make a mistake, and she's going to walk me through it. Yes. Or to not accomplish something, or to drop the ball on something, and I'm not going to get slaughtered for it. I think that those are like super important. It's interesting because I know on the show, people have heard me say, because I'm so passionate about relationships and about the relationships that we get to have while we're here on this earth, like in marriages, out of 8 billion people, you chose each other, to spend your life with. And I also would submit to everyone that out of those 8 billion people, God chose you to be the parents to that child. And you get to be their tour guide on this planet. You get to do that. You get to steward over that. And a lot of times we make so many things about, how it makes us feel. They're not being obedient, being in control, all these things, instead of just connecting. Let me just connect and see why, what's going on inside of them, that it's spilling over, in this room being a train wreck, you know what I mean? Or whatever it is, or me finding how many bowls of top ramen that, were eaten and stacked. Like when you go to wash, to go make yourself a bowl of cereal and there's no bowls there, but you find them all in his room, dirty and stacked, or whatever the thing is,
Then you can
none
celebrate that
yeah,
you didn't fly off the handle about that too.
Yes, and make things even more fun and funny, and just like, I can't believe we're here again, that kind of stuff. And you had said something, and then I know you have a point, so I'll rush, but you had said something about joy. And I didn't say anything about joy. I'm a joy catalyst. Joy is my jam, and it's something I'm so passionate about. And there's a very real difference between happiness and joy, because happiness is situational and joy is a current. It's a frequency that runs through you consistently or not, right? So please make your point, and then let's go there if you're open to it.
I wanted to say that how you handle it, so you successfully don't go off the handle because he's got all the dishes in his room again, and you don't go off the handle. It's actually going to help him to do what you want him to do a little bit more. He's not going to be resistant to it. And so you're going to have more success because of how you handle it. So, it's not just backing up a little bit, it's actually impacting the other person as well.
Right. And even if, I wonder what would happen if parents made their children aware of how it really makes them feel, or how it impacts you to have to hunt down all the bowls. Or, if they were aware of, maybe I think it's okay to be transparent with your kids. Like when you go to work, and let's say you're a teacher and you go to work and the teachers are all grumpy and not in alignment with you, and you're uncomfortable with that. And then you've got the kids and the students and everything. And then you come home and all you want is a stinking bowl of Captain Crunch, or whatever. Right. And then there's no bowls, or, and it's easy to take that out instead of just say, you know what, son, this is why this is important to me. I had such a cruddy day. How was your day? And if you just, they might be more thoughtful, we think, in a perfect world, right? But again, those kinds of conversation, they're real, they're present. Like you said, stay in that present moment. So important, because, contrary to what we all think often, what we think we only have right now. Like for me, it's such an honor and a privilege that clear across the country, you're climbing on to this show to share your heart and your wisdom with all of our audience. I have great honor for that. And this is the only moment right this second that you and I have right now. Right?
Absolutely. And there's another thing that I want to say about, you came home and you want your Captain Crunch. There's no bowls available. And yeah, you want to have that conversation. And, unfortunately, that conversation may be unfruitful, especially depending on how you've interacted in the past. But, you can just take a second to, still step back, be in the present moment, and just be grateful. Because, the truth of the matter is that, washing a bowl, how long is that going to take you? So you had a hard day at work, but now you're just grateful that you're home. you're home, and you get to relax. So instead of bottling up that in feeling a little upset and annoyed because once again, you didn't do the dishes or you dirtied all the dishes, whatever it
Right.
is. You know, you just kind of
Right.
step back a little bit and be like, I get to, you know, wash the dish and relax for a little while. No big deal.
Right. Right.
You
Well, and
know,
even gratitude, like grateful that your child is home safe and sound. Grateful that I mean, hunger in our country, let alone in other countries in the world, is rampant. Grateful that you had cereal. Grateful that you have dishes that they can get dirty. You know, and some of those things seem simplistic, but they're very real. I'm grateful that your child is literally sitting there playing video games and that you even get to have enough money in your resources to have the internet available or have a computer available for your child or have a TV or any of those things or even have heat in your home. Whereas I know there are school programs that send children because they don't have food at home, right? And so all of those things, I think, again, stack up. And Eric, our good friend, says, sharing feelings with my kids has deepened our trust, understanding, and communication. Now they, in turn, model that back to me. That's exactly what I was talking about. Thanks, Eric. And he's such a great example because I watch his show, which is Wednesdays at 1 o'clock Pacific. Energetic Life Now, everybody tune in. But I do watch a show because there's so much value there. He's really brilliant at those types of things. So let's just kind of shift gears a little bit. So let's talk about taking all of that, everything we've talked about, and then becoming successful in our day. What does that look like? Like map that out. Like for you, like do you have habits and rituals or processes that you do to help to ensure a successful day, or what do you do?
well, one of the things that you can do, besides just start acknowledging that, you know, these little things that you do, because we do things all the time. And, you know, like I said, they go unnoticed. Um, you know, we cooked a meal, you know, for our family, and, you know, nobody said thank you. And, you know, and so they didn't acknowledge us. We didn't really acknowledge it either. And now we're washing the dishes and we're annoyed or whatever. But, you know, just acknowledging those little things um, throughout the day that we end up doing successfully. You know what I mean? We've done the things that we're doing and they came out well and nothing. So one of the things that I really suggest is that you just acknowledge. But how do we acknowledge it better is to actually set goals and to, you know, have a plan. So if I want to accomplish making the dinner and going to the store because I need to go some milk and writing an email and you know, making that phone call to a friend I haven't talked to in a long time. So I write those things down, and now I can see that I've accomplished some things. Okay. The other thing is a success journal. Okay. So at the end of each day, actually having a success journal. So that's where I can go back through the pages if I need to allow myself to see success. Okay, this is part of rewiring our brain for success, because when we don't acknowledge success, it just flies by without any notice. It's not there. But when we stop and actually acknowledge it, and then we see success after success, because once we write it down, if we actually go through our journal a little bit, we see we did this, and it starts making us feel good. We start feeling good that, oh, maybe I am doing something right. Because yeah, some people feel like they're not doing anything with their life. They're not doing anything right. They don't have any purpose. And when we start to actually notice our successes, then our life satisfaction goes up. So these are just a couple of the things that we can do if we
I
want to.
love that. I love the idea of a success journal. I know I've had many a guest and you and I run in the same circle. And so we've heard many times about having a gratitude journal or about those things. A success journal is fantastic. And along the lines of that, because it reminds me of the biblical principle, David talks about that, about rehearsing your victories and being able to go back and reread all those successes. It puts you, like, if you're having a really cruddy day and you're having one of those why I call them whiny pee pants days, where you're just like, nothing's working, everything, blah blah, I think I'll go eat worms, that whole thing. Going through your success journal is going to be a quick way to get over it, because you'll see. And just yesterday I was putting together a game plan for one of my next lessons with my group that I have with a group of women. They're phenomenal. I love them to pieces. And it's so much fun. And what I was putting together was for them to have a prayer journal, which I do. And it's like things you're praying for. And then on the pages after, in that area or section, how those prayers were answered. And it's similar to even a success journal. And, even Eric says on here, success journal, that's brilliant. And it is brilliant. And it's something that you can actually carry around with you, because especially if you work or, if you're in the car a lot, even if you're an Uber driver or you deliver Instacart or whatever, every one of those deliveries is successful. Every time you pick up an order and you have a great exchange with the host or the hostess at that restaurant, success, right? It's success when you have successful connections. Even you can break it down to, like you are saying, even down to little tiny little bites, and they stack on top of each other. When you put them in a journal, golly, you could fill those pages up so quickly, right?
Yeah. But the thing is that, like I said, we don't notice our successes a lot of the time. So at the end of the day, when you got to sit down and write what my successes are, you kind of got to search for it in your mind. And, like I said, that's part of the rewiring process to help you to actually have more success. Because now that you're noticing your successes, you get to experience more success, because success is something that is actually transferable. That's the word I want to use. So when I have success in one area of my life, and constantly acknowledging it, okay, success. All of a sudden, even though I'm not actually working to say on my health, I start seeing victories there in my health. So it's a transferable skill. So right. How they say that in careers and stuff. Yes, success is a transferable skill. It transfers to your finances, transfers to your relationship, transfers to your spirituality. It transfers. So you can have more successes in each area of your life.
Well, and you know what? And when you mention goals and having a plan, I see all of that. And even what you're saying right now, I love that. Success is transferable, and it's a transferable thing. And I see it kind of like you grab a remote, you point the remote at the TV, you punch the channel that you want to be on, and the frequency between the remote and the TV and whatever else, it all aligns to where you're watching now, PBS, CBS, NBC, whatever it is you're watching. And it's the same thing with, I believe, with goals, your plan, you're grabbing the remote of your life. This is where I want to be. This is where I'm at. How do I close that gap? And you point that remote in that direction. So you align your frequency with that success. And then everything fills in the blanks of how to create that plan or how to get there, right?
Absolutely. And like I said, it helps with the motivation. Once you reach that goal, all of a sudden you're willing to set another goal because I did it. Okay. Well, let me go for this. Okay, I can go for this. And it starts getting bigger because at first you're not going to take a lot of risk with yourself. So you kind of stay right here and then you open up just a tiny bit. But then, all of a sudden you can get bigger and bigger goals because, success gets, just allows you to want more and do more because you can see that you've had successes in the past. It's a motivator.
100%. So we just started this first. I mean, can you believe it's the 19th of January already in 2024? Right. And how many people started the beginning of the year, right, with their usual, I'm going to go to the gym, I'm going to release that extra 20 pounds, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm gonna do, right? But how many are doing? And what I would say to people, because a lot of times, I know probably know this because you're a coach, they have these big, all this huge thing. And what I love what you're saying is even just doing those little wins. Like I woke up this morning, one of the things that I did with even my women, I said, look, we can do all these big things. And I'm big on taking action and doing that because not just taking action, but having sustained activity that backs up that action, right? Consistent activity. However, I said, what if you just start with having a glass of water next to your bed and every morning you drank that water before your feet even hit the ground, whether it's 8 ounces, I do almost 17 ounces of water every morning and before my feet hit the ground. And what if you do that and that's your little win? And you build that to be a consistent habit to where it's like a no-brainer after that, right? And, I know that other people have their morning routines and things, because I know for myself, it's that. And then, my scripture study, my prayer time, and my, all of those things, right? And then even brushing your teeth and washing your face or getting in the shower, all of that. But what if you just take those little wins? Have you noticed with your clients or people that you work with, or even when you were an educator, which you still are, but you know what I mean, in the school district teaching, what are the things that you helped people do to create or to set the goals, but also to reach their goals and to make sure they got there?
Well, one of the things that really stop people from having success is setting a goal and I guess not having a plan. So when you have a plan, the real plan is to break it into bite-sized pieces. Okay. Because a big goal is overwhelming. And so, you want to lose 50 pounds, and then you see the donut. And, but you want to lose the weight. And all of a sudden, 50 pounds seems ridiculous. And so, if you want to lose 1 pound, well, of course, I can do that. So maybe shoot for the 1 pound and then shoot for the 1 more pound and then shoot for the 1 more pound. Keep it simple because, like I said, that big goal, that's not too simple because, it's too big for you.
Right.
Generally, when we give up on stuff really easy, it's because we don't see ourselves actually being able to do it. Right. And we don't actually want to do all that work. that's another thing. So when you break it down into those bite-sized pieces, now, hey, 1 pound, what I got to do? Just eat a quarter less of the donut?
Or you just see it as, what if you saw it as, I get to release 1 pound 50 times?
Yeah. So
You know, and you
keeping
see
it
it, I love that.
simple.
Yeah, I love
Absolutely.
that. I get to release 1 pound 50 times, and it makes it easier. Consistency. And I did it once before, I can do it again. Okay, I did it 3 times before, and then you're down, 10 pounds. Oh my gosh, I get to release 1 pound 40 more times, right? I mean,
Right. And you celebrated that you
yes.
did that, and you get the motivation because now I won again. I won again. I
Yeah.
keep
And
on
what,
winning. I keep
yeah.
on having successes. I can do this. I can see it now. It's making it more real.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. And as your brain gets that dopamine release and gets that excitement every time you celebrate that. And when we talk about celebrate, let me just share with you, all of our audience that's watching now or later, celebrate feeling it to your fingertips and to your toes, like legitimately feeling the joy that you released yet that 1 more pound, right? Because when we do that and when we celebrate that, then your brain will search for the next celebration and the next celebration. And if your brain is electric and your heart is magnetic, and it triggers that magnet in your heart to magnetize to you more things to celebrate, more opportunities to release yet 1 more pound, to release another pound and another pound. And you mentioned something a minute ago about envisioning it. And that is so key, to take some time throughout your day to envision and to feel how joyful you felt with that 1 pound, or how joyful you will feel when you release that next pound, that you release the last one. Feel it and envision that happening. Envision yourself in that smoking hot outfit. Envision the way that your husband or your wife is going to be like, oh my, come here, right? When they see you like
Absolutely.
that, envision how you're going to feel, and what's possible to you because you achieved that. Is it possible that now you're wearing a size, 10 instead of a 12, or a size 6 instead of an 8, or whatever? Is it possible that you're now on the ground rolling around playing with your children because your body doesn't hurt as much? Is it possible for you that you're standing in front of a room full of people giving a presentation, feeling stellar about it instead of self-conscious about it, right? What's possible to you because you achieved that? Does that make
I want
sense?
to say something about that. I love that idea, and I practice it and think it's great. However, there's a lot of people that have a really hard time envisioning things. Okay, they think they can't visualize and all of that. So for people that feel like they can't envision and can't visualize, you don't have to see anything. You don't have to see yourself, like, close your eyes and actually see something, because there's a lot of people that really feel like they can't do that. You can just get the feeling, how would it feel? And the other thing is, if you can't do that, you just feel like you can't do that, just go to the successes that you've had. So just let the successes lead you. Like, yes, I was successful here, I was successful here. And, that's just going to build on itself in itself. So just for those people that have a hard time envisioning, because I know that a lot of people do.
I would invite them to really build on the successes they've had, and even start to exercise that envisioning muscle, because where there's no vision, people perish, right?
Yes, absolutely.
You have to be able to envision that. And if you do it in ways that, from what you said, from a standpoint of feeling, how did that feel when I'll go back to the laundry, because I'm breaking it down to the ridiculous and not these big, huge, monstrous, goals like pay off your home or, all those things. How did it feel when you actually didn't have to re-rinse your laundry with fabric softener so it didn't smell that stinky because you left it there 3 days, right? How did it feel like, yay, I did it? Or how did it feel when you and your son, when you just gave him a hug and said, gosh, I love you so much. Here, let's grab these bowls and go wash them together. And you didn't have this knockdown drag out where everybody feels awful afterwards because you were mad that they didn't do what you asked, right? How does it feel? And like you said, to stack on that feeling, because it will do similar things, right, as envisioning. And then just every day, envision the next time you're going to have a great conversation with him. Envision the next time that you're going to have a great a raise at work or whatever, and feel it, like you said. For the people that struggle with that, then those are ways that you can start creating that in your life, to your point, much to your point of doing that, like starting from nowhere.
I want to say something about the vision, and where there's no vision, people perish. Well, write the vision, make it plain. Okay.
Right.
So one of the ways that you can envision is to write down, what you want.
100%.
Write down how you're going to feel so that you can actually work towards that. Write the vision, make it plain, and you won't be disappointed. So,
100%.
just kind of, that's another avenue to do it.
100%. I love that. I know that one of the things that I'm really big on is doing gratitude boards and books. And people call them vision boards or vision books. And then they, cut out pictures and words and things of all the different things that matter to them that they want to accomplish in a time frame, whatever that is. And I call them gratitude books because I like to see them as already done, and that I'm just grateful that it happened. And then I reflect on it happening. And as I've done that in my life, I see it all come to fruition. It's so cool. Again, because we're such powerful creators. And I love what you said, because I am very much about breaking it down to the ridiculous where a third grader would understand it, right? Where it was just, because then you get it. You don't have to have, you can have all the intricacies and all the things if that's what you want to do. But so much to your point of, where do I start? What do? I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to envision. And the whole time that we've been talking about this part of our show today, I keep thinking of Michael Jordan. Because, arguably if you look at his quotes and his things, he's how many times he failed, right? And look at everybody not everybody, but most people know who Michael Jordan is in the world, and how wildly successful and what an amazing athlete and basketball player he's been. And he talks a lot about how he really won those games in his mind, right? Way before on them on the court. And walking it out on the court was really just an extension of that. And so, again, to your point of breaking it down to so simple for people that don't know how to envision, just start with little things, like you said, just the little things, and making it plain, like simple, right? Which I think is so important.
Yes. Write the vision, make it plain. I
Yes,
love that too.
That's right. Habakkuk 2:2, one of my faves. So thank you for sharing that. Go ahead, take it away, girl. What else you got?
Well, that is mostly what I wanted to talk about today. So one of the other things is, I'm losing my train of thought.
You're okay.
One of the other things. Sorry.
You're okay. You're okay.
All right. So, success is a personal journey. I want to make sure that people do not compare themselves to others. Okay.
Yes.
It's a personal journey. Okay. Somebody else, the success for them might be, the big house. I might find success in just, having a small house, having a couple extra dollars in my pocket. So if that makes me happy, then that's my success. I don't need to have the same thing as everybody else. Okay.
Right.
I don't need to have riches or fame or whatever else. Success is a personal journey. If I want to write in my journal every day and I do that, that's my success. And I actually have to acknowledge that and be happy for the small wins, because that's what I want. And when you said third grade, I taught second grade, so I break it down to the second grade level.
Yay! Yay, yay, yay. I love it. I agree with you. And it's about progress, not perfection. And when you talk about the wins and everything else in comparison, I know you and I both have learned with comparison is we compare self to others for possibilities, but self to self for progress. And that's so important, right? Now, I know that we've only got a couple minutes left. And so where can we find you? And I know that you have a free course or something, or a course. Please tell us about it.
Well, I knew I wasn't going to cover everything that I wanted to within this short time. So I made a free course that your listeners can have. And it's at moneyfreedomcoach.com/free. So that's moneyfreedomcoach.com/free. And they can also follow me on Facebook. My name under Facebook is Ros. That's ROS, Byars, BYARS. And so that's where they can follow me.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. And you know what? I want to thank our dear friend Eric. He's on the show. Success looks, sounds, feels different for everyone. It's a personal journey. And yes, agreed. Also, I want to thank you so much, Roz, for being here. And thanks for creating a course. Listen to that, people. And moneyfreedomcoach.com/free. I also want to thank all of you for being on our show today or in the future, whenever we got to connect with you. Again, look me up. I do a drawing for a free coaching session every month. So find me on socials, Facebook, Cindy Gould, Your Victorious Life. Just shoot me a message. This show can also be heard on the Spanglish Radio Network. Special shout out to our producer, Eduardo, for the fabulous job he does with Spanglish World and Spanglish Radio. Please check us out, spanglishworld.ca, for all the news and programming. Spanglish World, watch it, hear it, read it, download it, and live it. Thank you so much. Go out and make your life victorious and have such a beautiful day. Blessings to all of you. Thank you so much. And thank you, Roz, again. It's been so great.